Have you ever asked, where's the best place to find my hardiness zone? Or perhaps you are asking, what the heck is a hardiness zone?
If you like this video, please subscribe and like.
Before we go into what a hardiness zone is, what this means and such, let's go over how we can find our hardiness zone. Takes about 30 seconds. Super easy. To find your exact growing zone for where you live, we're going to simply type in growing zone by zip code. All right, and here we go. We have the Old Farmer's Almanac site for this. I love this site. I feel like it's just quick and easy, so that's the one I use. All right, you simply just scroll down here. There we go. We'll type in the zip code for where I used to live, which was La Grande, Oregon. 97850. Couldn't be easier. There we go. Our answer is, it is zone 6B, which means in any given winter, the lowest temperature that you can expect is going to be between 0 and -5 degrees. That same information can also be found by just going straight to the USDA website for growing zones and typing in your zip code here. We're going to type in the zip code for where I'm originally from, Ogden, Utah. Or at least one of the zip codes. Okay, here we go. It quickly comes up that Ogden is zone 7A. Your average winter minimum is between 0 and 5 degrees. Now that we know where to find it, what does this mean? What is a USDA hardiness zone? Well, the United States Department of Agriculture divides the United States into 13 different zones based upon their expected minimum winter temperature in any given winter, basically on average. It ranges from zone 1, where your average minimum is like -50 to -60. That's pretty much only found in Alaska, to zone 13, where your expected minimum is somewhere between 70 and 60 degrees. And everywhere in between. As you saw from the example, La Grande, Oregon is a zone 6B. So what does the B part mean? Well, each zone is divided into parts A and B, or essentially they are divided by 5-degree increments. So in the example that we used, zone 6 is anywhere between 0 and -10. If you are 6A, your expected minimum is anywhere between about -10 and -5. If you are 6B, like the example, your expected minimum is anywhere between -5 and 0. Now, moving back to my house, where I live currently here in Wyoming, I am zone 5A, which means my expected minimum is anywhere between -15 and -20. Now, sometimes in my videos I put 4B because is any winter really the same? Of course not. Winters vary by severity from light to extremely heavy every year. Nothing new there. For example, this year, if you followed the news at all, the entire West had an extremely mild winter. I think the coldest that I saw was like 7, which would technically classify me as a zone 7. This is not zone 7. Last year, we dropped down to -20 roughly. I think I could easily drop down to -25 on really bad years. So that's why I say that I'm 4B, 5A borderline. I wanted to show everyone this. The USDA Hardiness Zone website is also interactive. If you live in the Rocky Mountains, you probably live in an area that has a lot of varied topography, meaning elevation changes quickly even in town. As you can see here, the middle of Ogden over here by the interstate shows that it's zone 7A. This website is a little glitchy, so kind of be careful with it. But if I click over here, this is the east side of town up on a hill, and so you've gained some elevation over in these neighborhoods. And you can see that that hardiness zone is dropped to 6B. So maybe check your exact address and see what your hardiness zone is within your exact zip code. It might be a little different than what it comes out as when you just look it up by zip code. Now armed with this information, you never have to be like this guy and wonder, will this plant survive where I live? Now you'll know with certainty, and you can plant and plan for success. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you again next time.